to more Dark Souls stream. Hope you're all having a good night.
The finale.
Oh yeah, maybe. Because I just gotta do the DLC and then final boss.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how hard the DLC will be though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's relatively hard.
Is it hard enough that you could see it taking more than one stream?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, okay.
It's not like super long. It depends on how good you are at dodging the dark balls. Oh, hey, Lowry. I didn't even do my precogs and VOD squad thing.
Well, he's just that precognitive.
He's literally precog.
Well, welcome to the stream. We're picking up where we last left off in Dark Souls Remastered. We've got another con we're going to upcoming.
It looks so brightly lit.
Yeah, isn't it nice?
I mean, like me and the camera, I look really brightly lit.
Oh, well, that's good.
So you didn't have trouble with the Sanctuary Guard? You got him on like the first try or something?
I think it was third try, but
okay.
basically.
I don't find him super hard, but maybe I only tried him with good weapons.
He seems like he could be hard if you spent a long time on him, because a lot of his moves are like, he just has a lot of different moves, basically.
It's like I made a character using strength stuff, because I wanted to use the Demon Great Hammer you get from the Asylum Demon for the beginning. And, my god, everything sucks.
Wood.
I mean, the Zweihander's pretty decent. I don't mind that, but,
oh my god.
I was trying to use
They
all
just
the
all
different
came
Great
running, huh?
Hammers, and they suck. So yeah, I don't know what the lore is, but I guess they're animated gardeners, and then they all died, and that's why the forest is overgrown.
I was thinking of scarecrows, but you're right.
Well, they're definitely gardeners, because
Yeah.
one of them tries to get you with hedge clippers.
Yeah, we all have gardens.
Snip the shit out of you.
I like the theme of this DLC though.
Where do we
it's
look?
like classic Save the Princess.
Yeah. Yeah.
Feels good.
It does feel good.
Oh, these guys.
I wish they
big.
leaned into it more. I wish it was like... Yeah, how come we can't have like a happy RPG that's good and not...
Ah.
I think more people should go with my philosophy of like using dark fantasy elements to make the bright stuff better. At least I hope I accomplish that. I still haven't really heard a single person's take on my book other than yours.
I'm not getting any sound.
Yeah, it's just very distracting.
I don't know why though. Oh, do I still have the speaker
yeah.
plugged in? I thought it was. Sorry about that.
There we go.
There we go. That is much better.
Where do we leave off? I fell asleep midstream last time. I was dozing off midstream last time too. I was just really tired because I changed my sleep schedule to fall asleep at sane people times instead of like 6 a.m.
Yeah, we're just doing the DLC and then the final boss. That's basically all we have left to do. As far as I know, anyway.
Oh, I guess you could let my aunt know Tuesday. Or
Yeah, I already did.
Yeah.
Taken care of.
Sweet. The shield looks nice, by the way.
It does. I like it.
I had never seen it before. I saw some random video where the guy had it in a randomizer run. And then I picked it up and I was like, oh, it's that thing. And it's very shiny and nice. And gives you random resistances. I still think the Grass Crest shield is like probably
Top tier?
better. Yeah. But that looks nicer.
Yeah, it looks cool. Looks like I could fuck somebody up with it.
Okay, good. I'm glad I didn't miss Gwyn. Actually, if you kill Gwyn, that's it. You can't kill Gwyn and then leave. It like forces you unless you use Cheat Engine. Also, I downloaded the Gilded app so I don't miss TTRPG talk. Sweet. Yeah, I gotta do more
That was not the direction that
stuff
I
on
pressed.
that. I gotta make a section for, like, I don't know, memes or clips or something. There's a clip button on YouTube now, right, for streams?
Yeah, I guess so. Although I think that's just time stamping it. Jeez.
Yeah, these guys are, I heard people arguing that power attacks had more of a place in Dark Souls 2 or Dark Souls 1 than any of the other Dark Souls. I don't know if that's actually true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dark Souls 3, at least you could get more damage when you held on it longer. I don't think that happens in this.
No, I think it's just
Delaying it.
yeah.
It also doesn't do that much damage, and it seems like it doesn't have any more stagger than a regular hit. So I don't know if they really have more of a...
Man, I'm out of Estus already. Ugh.
I like how the announcements channel... Like, I meant it just to be a channel that you can't talk in. That just has,
Yeah,
like,
this is only
resources.
5 Estus. That's so strange.
Oh, you could Kindle it, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Need another one.
I realized that after I saw the use.
You could
sign.
also... You could also put, like, even more in there. You could go up to 20 Estus if you wanted. With the verse following and then Kindle. Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Such a bad system.
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame like people who played this game beforehand and just didn't even know that they could do that.
Yeah. When I first played it, I was like looking around at all the settings because I was like, there's all these things in the bonfire. But yeah. So you can use the Gravelord Sword Dance this time.
Oh yeah, that's clearly what I'm supposed to do.
Solid plan. I endorse this fully. You can trim the shit out of their hedges with those great swords. Or, you know, with your sword.
And there's so many trees that get in my way with the camera. What? That's so annoying.
Yeah, I was fighting the Taurus Demon with the big bonk, and 2 light attacks staggered, but 1, like, fully charged heavy didn't stagger, and the jumping heavy didn't stagger. So, it kind of doesn't feel like heavy attacks have any purpose.
These trees are more annoying than anything else. Mostly because, once again, yeah, the camera. So...
Yeah, so I think this is a good demonstration of why everyone just runs past all the enemies all the time.
Well, I don't even know where to go. I'm just walking around, basically.
Yeah. No, but someone who, like, knows the area, they'll always just run past everything, because when you fight it out, you always trade all the time, and it's just, like, not efficient.
Right.
There's so much trading in Dark Souls. You always end up like double hitting. That's why everyone likes poise, is because you end up trading all the goddamn time. And they want to be able to swing through. I feel like they should show your poise meter. For bosses, maybe it's good to have it hidden. I don't know. What do you think about bosses having hidden health bars?
I don't like it.
A lot of bosses in a lot of games have hidden health bars. It's interesting that Dark Souls shows it, and they're so retro in a lot of things.
Jesus Christ.
That's another thing I like about 4th edition D&D, is that the DM will announce when the enemy is bloodied. And I've seen people like live streaming their D&D games. Even they will say the boss is like bloodied, because that is a stage you should at least know about, even if you don't know the boss's exact health.
Yeah. Like, you should be able to tell if, like, they're almost dead.
Yeah.
I guess in theory, maybe they're like, oh, well, you should do a check to be able to like, tell. But it's like, but shouldn't I just know?
Yeah. Like, maybe a class feature that lets you know their exact hit points. But knowing like when, like vaguely percentage-wise, like half health, 25%. Because sometimes these are all more things you do when you're running for kids. Is like, if one kid is very visibly like, "Aw, I didn't do anything useful," and then you have him get the last hit on the boss, it just makes them such a happy little camper.
Yeah.
Even if they didn't do any damage the whole boss fight, they're like, "Yeah, I got the last hit. Wee." So, when I run 5e, I usually tell the players, when my monsters get to their turn, how they're looking vaguely in terms of health. Yeah. That's a good time to tell them, I think, because, like, at that point they're probably getting a little more impatient, maybe, or like, yeah. Telling them how the boss is looking tends to be like, speed them, or make them feel like it's like going a little faster. The perfect way to do a boss fight is to have it last 3 turns and feel very challenging, without nuking someone, like, in one turn. Because if you have 5 people, it should feel threatening to all 5 people, without one person being knocked out every turn until they win. Because then it's not fun for those people that are just like unconscious or have to get healed or something.
Right.
Yeah. I don't like bosses having hidden health bars. I prefer to know how close I am to victory. Yeah. I agree. I guess there's arguments where it's like, oh well, you would be more risky if you.
What? I thought he was dead.
Was there a third one?
Yeah, but I thought I hit him.
That's
Is
a
it because I'm
corpse?
like on elevation that like I didn't hit him? Because I saw visibly my sword go through him.
I do not know.
Ah, that's so lame. I mean, really, visually, I was swinging through all 3 of them.
Oof.
What?
In the campaign I'm running, I have 6 players. Oof.
That's a good crowd.
Man. I remember I was running a game, and I had like 5 people, right, running for a store. The store is kind of noisy. It's kind of like a pain. And then this girl working at the store is like, "Hey, so there's a car full of 6 guys that's coming here to play D&D," and I'm like, "Okay. Am I supposed to do something about that?" She's like, "Yeah, Dave was hoping you could have them play." And I was like, "What? In this game, have 11 people at the table?" And she's like, "Yes." It's like, she's like, "And they don't know how to play." I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, right. Oh boy. That sounds impossible.
I did it though.
Very good.
It involved standing on my chair and yelling like a conductor. "And what do you do for your turn?" Yeah. My regular group was very understanding. They were kind of like, "I guess our session is kind of over." I'm like, "No, we go on." I got it done, and they enjoyed it a lot. They were all very glowing. They were like, "Wow, D&D is so fun." And it's like, it's a lot better if there's not 11 fucking people. It was easy to please because it's like their first. Oh god.
I didn't even mean to heal. My thumb just literally fucking slipped.
I was thinking it was a Chad move. You shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have admitted that you didn't mean to just be an alpha.
Fucking, I hate this.
Sometimes
it's so delayed.
Do you ever just roll and not even remember ever pressing the button?
Well, it's because it's so delayed.
But it also, you dive in the most random directions in Dark Souls 1.
Yes.
I don't know,
that is another big problem.
I don't know how these happen sometimes. Sometimes it's the character, way the character is facing instead of the way that you push them.
Are you collecting this guardian armor? Is that actually the quest?
No.
Okay.
No. You don't have to do anything in this, oh, there you go. Yeah. It's the bridge. Oh no, look, it's a dragon. Wow, wow, he has a crazy eye. And he goes, Wee. Cool. See, he's an optional boss. I forgot to kill him last time in my last run through the game.
Is he tough?
Yeah, some people say he's the hardest boss in the game.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. I think some people would say that. I feel like that's not out of line. You DM'd for 11 simultaneous players? That's insane.
Where the fuck did he come from?
I could do you one better. Fucking over 30 kids showed up. I DM'd for some, middle schoolers, and then everyone told their friend. And they were like, "Wow, this is the best thing that's ever happened. I fucking love D&D. You should come to D&D." But they told, 30 motherfuckers, and they all showed up. And I'm like, what am I supposed to do with that? And I was like, I have that. So I was like, this isn't really doable with everybody, but we can certainly give it a shot. But understand, normal groups of D&D aren't like this. And then a lot of people just most of the kids just left after they saw how much chaos it was. One of the kids stood up and said, "This is chaos," and then left. Very understandable.
Yeah.
That was not doable. One of the girls working at the library was like, "Oh, how was it okay with it?" I was like, "No." She played D&D before. How could it be okay? How could it possibly work out? And the person who ran the library was didn't like that I couldn't have large groups, and it's listen, motherfucker, you sit in here and play. You play too. I'll have 31 people, and you'll be one of them. See how you like it. Fucking raving lunatic.
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, the lady who like ran the library was such a bitch. She like fired me because I couldn't. Whatever. I was like, listen, we have to do like 2 groups a week because it's not working out. And there's so much demand for it, like so many kids want to play. And then she was like, oh, we can't afford you anymore, like, you know, just like basically firing me. And then she was like, had this like real shit-eating grin or whatever, and I was like, yeah, I mean, I don't like. It's like, believe me, I'm totally fine with not dealing with this goddamn library, but yeah, I was like, yeah, I understand, you know, the budget's whatever, you don't have enough money because it doesn't scale well and whatever, you know, but like I like talked to her and then she totally like felt like a moron like when I was talking to her about it.
Crazy. For some reason, I'm having such trouble seeing in this level.
You know, they say that Twilight is the hardest like light to see in, and it is kind of RNG, so I don't know.
I don't know. It might just be because of these trees constantly in my peripherals. It's like, I don't know. This is a really disorienting section for me. I don't know if my glasses are all fogged up or what.
Yeah. But I think she was expecting me to be upset that I was getting fired, and it's like, dude, I literally don't give a shit. And then she felt like powerless and stupid, which is
Yeah, all triggered at once, huh?
kind of fair. That I mean, that's how I'd like her to feel. Because my D&D was extremely popular with kids who had no frame of reference. They had
Come on! All these goddamn fucking trees.
Yeah. Oh.
I haven't found any other bonfires.
Should you rebind your jump to a different button
No.
so you don't jump back? Did you mean to jump there?
Yeah. I'm just trying to get out of the way. I didn't mean to jump into a tree, but there's trees just everywhere. I mean, the jump isn't why I died. I died because I got stabbed by a goddamn tree.
Well, I feel like I have no right to complain about having a hard time balancing 6 people. No, 6 people is a lot. You have every right to complain, especially like. I mean, they say 6 people is like the perfect group size. I would say 5. 5 is super solid. It depends.
Oh, god damn it.
It depends on who you have, right? Certain kinds of players are more taxing, like time-wise, and like attention-wise.
This is the one with the stamina region? Okay. It's probably better to have on my back.
Yeah. Maybe if you run into like poison or something, that other shiny pretty shield would be better. But good to deny a self-important bureaucrat their moment of satisfaction. Yeah. I mean, at the time I was running a bunch of games for a bunch of places, so it was like I didn't, yeah. It's not a very time-hungry job. Well, it kind of is, I guess. Because it's like, you have to set up a lot of stuff, especially when you're dealing with kids who, like, don't know what the fuck they're doing. And, like, you kind of have to build your own RPG that a kid can play. Rather than play exactly what's in the book. So, you have to, like, pre-make characters, you have to pre-make all this stuff, and then, like, depending on what age group you end up running next time, you don't need that stuff. So. But it's like once a week, and then you can kind of charge a bunch, typically. So like, there's tons of holes around here, so just be careful.
Okay. Holes bad.
Yeah. Just giant gaping holes in the terrain. There's some item around here that was like hard to get.
A mushroom. Cool.
Wow. I think 4 is the perfect group size. 4 is good. I think the reason I say 5 is just because somebody always cancels. So if you have 5, and then you can get, that one person cancels down to 4. If you want to try for it, I think it's to the right.
No, I saw one here.
Just be careful, because I remember falling into a pit right here. I was like, there's a pit somewhere. A party of six is nice. It's sometimes hard to tell how to tweak the game when you have 6 people, because it is kind of hard to please a group of 6 different people at once. If you have 3 people that are like super similar, and then 3 people that are super similar in a different way, like if you have like 3 uber turbo power gamers and then 3 people that just care about role playing, like the 3 couples, just like the girls all want to like play dress up with the princess, and then the guys all want to just like murder dragons with the prince.
Maybe in here?
That must be. Oh, that must be. Oh.
Okay, so that's what connects it to the lower level. So I don't have to walk as much. Oh, or not. This is a different area.
Is there a Bloodborne guy around here? Oh,
it's
that must be
another
another.
elevator. Yeah.
Hey, Chaos Mesh 64. Are you filled with protein, energy, and strength? Yes. Also, the Guardian armor set is great. Is it really?
Is there anything around here?
If I were called upon to DM for children, I would run the most basic D&D quests. Goblins have kidnapped the blacksmith's daughter. Go rescue her.
Ah, I see light.
I cannot trust middle schoolers with female NPCs. I just, I've never had a problem, but I was running a birthday party for kids that were like so goddamn little. They were like 4th graders. Yeah, that's the guy people say is from Bloodborne.
Yes.
Yes, of course. We are both strong, at least now.
What you got?
He's got a lot of useful stuff. He's got humanities. Wait, does he sell infinite humanities? Oh shit.
Huh. Well, there you go.
That's pretty useful. And then he has the toxic curing item in there too.
Does he? Oh yeah, he does. Is there toxic in this area?
I don't know. Never hurts to have one though, I suppose.
I suppose.
If you kill him, you get his armor, but it doesn't have any poise, so. The green moss is also like something people use before tough boss fights. It just makes you regen stamina a little faster.
Is this where I came from? No, I think this is different. Yes, so this is from the upper-ish level. Not sure if that would be a better run back, honestly, but I just would prefer another bonfire, personally. But I guess that's not that bad.
Yeah. I ran a game, a really basic game for some like middle schoolers where it was like the family ran away, but their farmstead was overrun by orcs, and so you talk to the father, and he's like hiring you to go back and like clear out the orcs, and so they go back to the farm and they investigate, and then there's no orcs there, but there's like clues and stuff, and then there's a fort nearby that was abandoned that the orcs are in, and like you just kind of, you know, it was like, oh, there's like a dried up moat, and one of the walls has like been knocked down by a tower, blah blah blah, and like you could sneak over here, or maybe over there. Like, you know. Like, the kids would be like, oh, can we go around, like, to see if there's this? And then I'm like, yeah, there is that. Kind of thing. But the kids... It's funny how, like, effective, like, really, like, simple stuff will be sometimes. Mm-hmm. So, like, I was like, oh, there's lots of orc tracks around the kids' room. Like, you know, lots of stuff is knocked around, and they're like, oh, why are the orcs move around more in the kids' room? Oh, like, and I was like, oh, roll an insight check to see if your character's, like, smart enough. They're insightful enough to know. And he, like, rolls, and I was like, it's because orcs eat children. And they're like, they love the taste of children. And they're like, oh, no. Like,
Aww.
Anyway, I was running a group for a birthday party, and these kids were like itty bitty tiny wieners. They were itty bitty weenies.
Itty bitty weenies?
Yeah, they're tiny children. They're like in 4th grade, and then they kill a goblin or something. It was some pre-made adventure that the dad wanted me to run, and I was like, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever you want, buddy. Like, just give me the money. Bitch, you know, it's just like, yeah, you give me the adventure so I don't have to figure anything out. So I'm like, so they kill a goblin or something as part of the adventure, and then he was like, does the goblin leave a corpse behind? And I was like, why are you asking that? Like, don't. I was like, I guess. And then his friend is like, it's because he wants to teabag it. And I was like, oh my god, no.
No teabagging. You
shouldn't be playing those video games. You're like 9.
Oh my. It looks like an arena.
Oh.
This is where you fight, like...
Yeah. That's where we fight the dragon. Okay. But you can't fight him because... Oh, you can fight him. Apparently you can beat him. Here, you can't. There's no chance. He can fly, but you can shoot him in the wing. You can pay a giant to shoot him in the wing, so he has to fight on the ground. But it's possible to beat him while he's in the air. But I think for a very long time it was deemed impossible. Oh. But there's some kind of, like, if you have spells or something, it's like easier to fight him in the air or something like that.
That's interesting, yeah.
No idea. I've never tried to fight him in the air, and I didn't watch the video that was claiming in all caps that you could beat him in the air. So,
well, obviously, I couldn't. That is not my build here.
Oh god, I didn't think about that. I didn't think about that either. I was just like... I assumed he was going to do the normal D&D player thing, where it's like, we have to be super resourceful with everything, and so we have to, like, take out his femur so we can use it as, like, a harpoon tip or something. We have to whittle his bones into spears.
Grind his bones to make our bread.
As you go to teabag the corpse, it briefly comes back to life, and you're punched in the balls for retaliation for your DM. Unfortunately, that would make the kids all laugh, and then they would talk about it a lot. And that's not what I need as the responsible adult in the room. Also, all the parents were just, like, sitting in chairs in a circle watching me, while having side conversations with each other. The most stressful, like, thing to run is, like, parent, and then it's like one of the kids is like, can I rub my balls in a degrading sexual manner against a corpse? And the answer is, oh my god, why does your mother let you play Call of Duty? What are your parents doing?
Ooh, what is that?
I guess the sludge on him hurts you. That attack cannot be rolled through. It's the only attack in the game that goes through iframes. It does the jump spin. Isn't that neat?
Yeah, real neat. What is he doing?
He's buffing. Oh, I guess he's shooting a thing at you. Can I rub my balls? Stop right there. You cannot. I also have no idea what the deal is with like teabagging as like a genuine act, but like my one of my
I wasn't
friends
expecting it to do that.
one of my friends' mothers was like talking about how like some kid said that, and she was like so appalled.
Go to the bathroom real quick.
She was so appalled. She was like I can't believe, and she was like talking like hushed terms and stuff, and like she was like a cool mom who would like curse and stuff, and she was like young, and she was so appalled by it, and she was like, my child would never say something like that. You know, I hear my kids curse, and that's fine. They're adults. They would never say teabag. They would never. She wouldn't even like say it. I was like, what? But eventually, she's referring to teabag, but not saying it out loud. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, your son not only has said teabag 1,000 million times, I don't think he knows that he's not supposed to say teabag, and he has teabagged people in Halo, and like joked about it and sent memes because he was at one point a middle schooler. And so I have no idea. But as soon as that kid was like he wants to teabag it, I was like, holy shit! Like, what if one of these parents is as like incensed about teabagging as my friend's mom was randomly? I don't know what the story is there. It feels like there's a story there, right? I have no idea. But as you go back to teabag the core for to enact a violent massacre of teabagging adventurers and laugh at the suffering. Yeah. Yeah. As a guy who never played D&D with a bunch of brats, kids are wholesome. Kids do like it is nice to play to run D&D for kids, because like kids, especially in like middle school, people in general are so desperate for some place to exert their creativity, because it is an instinct of man to create things, even if people aren't like artistically inclined, like they don't want to draw, they don't want to write stuff. Everybody kind of wants to make stuff, and so like games like Minecraft or whatever, their popularity I think kind of represents that. And games where you can make your own, like Fallout 4 or something, you can make a settlement. It's like an important thing that people like do, and then people when they build stuff, like build a deck or something, it is good for people. And like I think the younger you are, the less of that has been murdered out of you, and so the kids really, really appreciate the opportunity to be able to be like creative in a literally limitless arena, to the point where one of the kids for Christmas, even though I'd only been running a couple sessions, he gave me this mug, which I was using to hold the swords until I wasn't, because I realized it's so hard that it breaks the tips off the swords if you drop it in there. It's ceramic.
Right.
But it's a mug that says Dungeon Master.
Good kid.
Hey, Never. Bernie Mac had the right idea of kicking the snot out of kids when they misbehave. I kind of like Louis C.K.'s perspective on that. He's like, they're the most vulnerable, and it's the only people you're allowed to beat. They're the most vulnerable. They will trust you implicitly. You can tell them whatever you want, and they'll believe you. And but then you can also beat the shit out of them if you don't like what they're doing. Random people on the street, criminals, you can't beat them up. You have to call the cops. Your wife, can't beat her. But little kids?
Ugh, that's the worst.
Most defenseless creatures on the planet. I think discipline is important for kids generally. I think that like hitting kids is not good. I've seen it like lead to just bad stuff. as like when I was younger, the kids who would hit other kids would be the kids who were hit, and they would react in this like crazy this like crazy sort of fashion, like
Man.
like I don't know what I have no idea what happened, but there was some kid who hit me over some sort of misunderstanding.
For start, it's just like all my moves are going around him, and it's like, what's the point of being locked on then?
So this guy that you're fighting is like one of the main characters of like the story. Even in Dark Souls 3, there's still lore stuff about him. He was like the super duper hero of olden times. He went into the abyss to go kill the abyss, and then he went crazy in the abyss, and that's what happened. That's where he's now.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But he's like, Sif is his dog, and yeah. And he did something else. I think he killed some other characters or something. I agree with you about corporal punishment. My parents never hit me, and I turned out all right. Yeah. I mean, but there's also parents that like they won't like yell at their kid, and
or they just like they reach a stage where they just give up. And as a parent, you just don't have the right to give up, you know?
Yeah. It's like it's uncomfortable to yell at your dog in front of certain people who are just like super, I don't want to say like left, but I know it is a thing in like a lot of Reddit posts for like, am I the asshole? Is like someone would be like, I would never yell at my kid or something like that. And it's like, yeah, but that's not. It's also that when you're a little kid, you don't like getting yelled at. Like, you hate getting yelled at. It's the worst thing that could ever happen to you is like a teacher yells at you. So it's like, why do you need to go the further and hit them? Like, when a teacher yells at you, it's like the worst. Man,
he's just spamming it.
If you get his sword, you can spam it. In Dark Souls 3, you get that weapon art, right?
I don't know.
Pretty sure you can. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm just crazy. I have a friend who was an ungrateful brat, and his dad used the belt on him, and he turned out fine. I think if he's saying that he's an ungrateful brat, there's also a decent chance that they say that, like, as part of like the cycle of abuse, like wives that get beat will say, "Oh, it was my fault. I made him mad," and so it's like kind of, I'm always very hesitant to believe kids or believe people who are like, "Oh, well, my parents beat me, but I deserved it." It always feels like a weird like abuse victim thing. Like, I have a couple friends who were hit as kids. They're all into BDSM. And they all would say, like, no, I was a worse kid than other kids, so I was asking for it, or it needed to happen, or whatever. And it's like, it doesn't feel like an impartial judge. It's like, there's a lot of, like...
That time I didn't mean to do it.
Yeah. I think, like, discipline is important. Like, you need to like punish a kid for doing something bad, but like just yelling at a kid is kind of enough, you know? Like, I feel like it's a failure of oh, you didn't take damage. Man, you staggered that guy? That's kind of sick. I feel like it's like a failure of being able to use other methods when you have to resort to violence to like get a kid to behave how you want him to behave. And also, like, there's plenty of kids that got the shit beat out of them by their parents that turned out like the worst people in my
twice
in my like graduating class. Like there was this one mother who like she sent her kid to school the first day in some grade in like elementary school, and she sent him with a note that said that the teacher's allowed to beat him. And like he was misbehaving like the first day or whatever, and then the teacher like pulled out the note and made a joke out of it because it's like a ridiculous thing. That your mother would give the teacher permission to like hit her child, but it's like that kid got beat all the time, and he turned out like a big piece of shit. Like he was just he went to jail. Like it didn't fix him. So was he just born like a big piece of shit and there was nothing his parents could do, or was beating him clearly not effective enough to like warrant even using? So. And nothing against people who are like into whips and chains or whatever, but I don't know. It feels a little weirder to hit your kid as a form of discipline when you know that it's like high chance they're gonna be like getting whips and chains and stuff. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know, wasn't there like a whole generation where it was just normal to get beat when you were out of line? And I'm pretty sure the whole generation isn't into BDSM.
What generation is that?
I don't know, like boomers or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, I guess not the whole generation, but it does show up quite a bit.
Well,
I mean, I guess it's a fairly common, like, fetish, but Wonder Woman is, like, a BDSM character. I don't know, I guess you could... You see it a decent bit in, like, older movies. So... Not that that's like the most important reason. I just think it doesn't really like do anything super good for kids. You do need to like actually discipline the kid though. Like you can't just have the kid like be a wild like crazy child. Oh man.
Man, it really just does depend on what moves he uses.
Yeah. You can side dodge the spin because it doesn't track that well. But you have to wait a bit for it because it does track.
I mean,
a
like
bit.
I'm dodging.
Yeah.
It's just like it's not 100%.
Is this a good fight to lock on for?
I am locked on.
No, I'm just wondering if it's a bad idea because I know locking on makes your movement weird. It makes you move sideways slow.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to see though.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, I mean, I guess that's what you need. Yeah, it's also super common in, like, Black and Hispanic communities to beat kids, and I don't know if it's doing any good over there.
Well, I think like part of the problem is like the idea is, oh, I beat my kids because they were out of line, but the parents aren't really taking responsibility for being the ones who taught the kids how to be out of line in a lot of situations.
They're also teaching the kid that they have to, that they can impose themselves as being right if they hit people, so they hit other kids. Like, I don't know, this one kid, I don't know what the hell happened, but he smacked me for some misunderstanding, and he was freaking out. Like, he was really freaking out, like looking past everything and like twitching and stuff. He was really in this like snap, like he had cracked, and this was like 3rd grade or something. And it was kind of just bizarre to see, but he was babbling
god. It's just like... the healing is slower than he can just teleport over to you. So, like, if he does that, then I'm just screwed. If he doesn't do that, then I can actually fight him.
Yeah. But yeah, the kid was, like, babbling about how his mom hits him, and how it's like mom said to defend himself or something. And I really don't know why he thought that I did something. I think a ball hit him from somewhere, and then I was nearby. I have no idea. But a teacher was like, "Did he hit you?" And I was like, "Yeah." I don't know what. I was like, "I don't know why." And then that was, whatever.
Oh my god.
But like really, what happened is like the teacher went and told his mother, and then his mother beat him more. So it's like, I don't really know if any solutions were reached there.
Well, it kind of just sounds like he had a shitty mother.
Yeah. He also listened to Eminem. And someone was like, "Tell him that you don't like Eminem." And I was like, "Yeah, I don't like M&M's. Chocolate's not that good." And he was very upset. But also, he was very young to be listening to Eminem. So I remember it was like, to my parents,
it was
like,
like
"Oh."
everywhere on the radio when he was booming.
Wow. Not on radio stations.
Well, they just like bleep the words out.
No, not on like radio stations I would have heard.
Right. I'm just saying, like, it was fucking everywhere.
But yeah, I don't know. But this is also like 2nd, 3rd grade. Not. I don't think someone who's like 7 should be listening to Eminem.
They would just have the radio playing on the school bus when they picked us up.
Yeah, I'm too posh for school buses.
I know. I'm just saying. I guess maybe it makes more sense.
But still, as like a parent, it's like, yeah, you can't. You're 7.
God damn it.
Can't watch porn. Can't listen to Eminem.
I didn't hit him? It's like the worst when you see your sword go through an enemy and it just doesn't count as a hit. And also the delayed attacks. Is there a way to, like, turn that off? Because they fixed it. Yeah, they fixed it for other Dark Souls games, but in this one it's just really bad.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to hit it multiple times because sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes it just cancels out, and then other times it just piles up as multiple attacks.
Isn't that a weird mechanic to have in a game that doesn't have any combos? Like, there's no combos in this game, but it has, like, action queuing as though it did.
I mean, it kinda has, I guess, like, this is a combo, but...
No, yeah.
Yeah, it's, like, not really.
So, like, action queuing is a mechanic where you can press the combo at a variable amount of time. The spacing between the button presses doesn't matter that much because it'll just queue them in a line and then play all the inputs. But if you are spamming something while you're doing something else where it can't take the input, you then stack up a bunch of that and it will play those once it can. So if you're trying to dodge and you're on the ground and you press dodge a bunch of times, sometimes that'll mean that you fly yourself into a dodge afterwards. But then also, if you're trying to attack and you get staggered, sometimes you'll swing after the attack without staggering you.
Yeah, when you don't want to attack, you'll just start swinging.
Yeah. So if you get hit while you're swinging and you're pressing swing, then you're gonna do another swing, but then you get hit. So.
Yeah. While you're like spamming B, it'll just be swinging your sword instead.
Hey, or honeydew. Anyone hate going to a mall and not finding anything worth buying, but forced to buy something since you made the trip? I guess, but I've definitely gone to a mall and then been like, man, nothing's good, and then just left. Or sometimes you get food. That makes it worth the trip, right?
Yeah.
get
I
a
think so,
nice
anyway. I hate that.
Oh, that was a cool move. Although it's the boss doing that, so maybe I should compliment. Nice.
God, I'm not even pressing that direction.
Yeah. What?
I don't know what the fuck was that. Apparently he learned a new move. Yeah, it is actually the worst to watch your sword go through the enemy and then not see the health bar go down. Because, I don't know, super armor or just the animation, you can't hit him in it, or the hitbox is weird.
I find this Y-hander kind of hard to see exactly how far it goes.
Nah, I mean, I can definitely tell it's touching him.
Yeah. He's a skinny boy, too. So.
But yeah. It was extremely difficult in some boss fights.
Oh my god.
What's that?
Or Honeydew, do you just show up to give us bad news? Ugh. Sleeping Beauty's getting a live-action remake.
It already had a live-action remake.
They're making another one, apparently. It's unrelated to the Maleficent thing.
That's so silly.
Oh my god.
Wah! Man, that is the first time they actually followed me into here.
They're gonna make...
What?
They're gonna make,
This is fucking bullshit, man. Like, what did I do differently that caused them to be triggered? Literally nothing. It's just random.
Maybe they have random patrols, I don't know.
It's just random. Doing the same thing over and over again, and that's the only time when they actually followed me all the way over there. And that guy never even got triggered. Never once got triggered.
Man, you open the shortcut and this run back is this bad?
Yeah, well, it's Dark Souls 1, so all the runbacks are bad.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of F5 and F9. Just quick run back, just slap the F9 when you know you're gonna lose. In Star Wars Force Unleashed 2, on the hardest difficulty, a stormtrooper would just one-shot me from full health. Yeah, they're gonna have Aurora be a man. It's gonna be a map, a black pedophile. Will just be a black male pedophile.
An ugly awake person.
An ugly, yeah, it'll be a hideous awake person. That'll be who they choose for Sleeping Beauty. I'm so tired of, like, I feel liberated that I just don't have to tolerate these movies anymore. That it's like, I've grown enough as a person that I can just say, yeah, they're all garbage and super anti-white. Because you can't make Snow White not a white person and then still be like, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. They're reimagining it as just casting someone different. It's like, no, this is, like, yeah. The character is beautiful because of how she is white as snow with hair black as ebony. Yeah. May I recommend my Lord and Savior, the Great Scythe? No, I'm not kidding. I'm not serious, but yeah. He was hard. I got him by dash attacking him a lot and like dash attacking and then running away.
I don't know, I guess I could get more invincibility frames by just like taking everything off.
Oh, maybe. Try the fight fast rolling? Maybe?
Yeah,
Oh!
What? Well, you know what? Tell me later.
What?
I'm gonna run back.
Does the flip ring still work?
Flip
or is
ring.
was that changed? Do you have to have low equip load? There was a thing with Dark Souls 1 where there was a ring that would give you like these ninja flips, and you could do them in Havel's armor, so people would
Oh, that seems like you would get that from this guy.
No, it's in this area, but in the future. Did they patch that? I know people were like talking a lot about it. It's like a wood grain ring, and then it allows you to like ninja flip somehow. So instead of a normal roll animation, you have a new one that is literally a flip, and then that. I don't remember how it works, but that's still a mid-roll.
Yeah, it is. It's fast, yeah.
Still got your helmet.
Yep. That's all that matters.
My prediction is that Sleeping Beauty won't even sleep.
It's decent prediction.
She'll just spend the whole movie molesting kids. I know, BM.
What?
Bad manners. He's hitting
yeah.
your corpse.
Yeah, that is actually the worst. It's like, he's wide open, I do the move, and then super last minute, he just spins, and that makes him invincible.
Do you want to use Cheat Engine to teleport back to the boss fight?
It's not that bad of a walk back, it's just the time just to die again that bothers me.
Just thought I'd offer.
Yeah, well, it's not a big deal.
Sleeping Booty. You know, they could go the other way of woke, where it's just like super pornographic. Sleeping Booty, where they just like have a ridiculous amount of pornographic content, and then they just like rate the movie G. Just for everybody. They sponsor maternity wards, so they play it for babies. Just hardcore Sleeping Booty. They use it instead of sex education. They just have like a bunch of sex with unconscious people in order to imprint fetishes on developing minds.
I don't think Disney would even be able to afford another Sleeping Beauty remake.
I don't think so either. They're like selling off properties and stuff.
Yeah, that's the theory.
I hope they burn. I love Disney so
Dodge.
Fuck.
That is unfair. Look how many action queuing fast rolls I did.
You got so many in there.
Sometimes X just doesn't work for no reason. Oh, it unlocked me from him.
Nice.
Uh-oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
Nice. One more.
Please don't tilt me. Adam.
What? Dad, you can't put that on me!
I said please.
I didn't say...
It's always when there's commentary that I'm like, uh-oh, better not mess it up, because now there's the pressure. Always. That is really annoying, though, that just sometimes buttons don't work. But then, like, when you press it multiple times, you have all this action queuing. It's just not... Yeah, it's just not put together well.
Apparently the Hercules remake is said to be inspired by the TikTok style of storytelling.
They're not going through with the Hercules remake.
Good.
That's getting canceled for sure.
Yeah, they should...
I would be very shocked if that actually ends up being made.
Yeah. Well, anyway, so one of my books is actually set in Disney World. The Treading Water. It's a romance.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they destroyed their own brand.
I know. Because I really, really love Disney. I went there when I was little, and I went to Epcot, and I went on Living with the Land, this like really, really optimistic view of environmentalism and technology, where they're like, look at hydroponics, how we can grow plants in just water. But wait, that's not efficient enough. You have to use like water that has a certain amount of like fertilizer content. How do we get that fertilizer content? Well, we have a fish farm, and we use the fish here in our restaurants. It's all sustainable and etc.
I know, he just slightly backs up. It's like me. What was that?
You're
Fucking action queuing. I hit B and it just didn't work. Like, how do you expect me to not press it a million times if it doesn't work the first time?
Yeah, that's the other thing about the action queuing is like that's a really like ballsy move for a game that's not that reliable with its like inputs. Because like so many times I'll press a thing and then it just won't happen. And then like they know the game's not that responsive, but then they're like,
let's punish people for pressing a button more than once.
Let's punish people for playing our game basically, because it's like we know our game is not that responsive to inputs. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna punish people if they anticipate our poor response to inputs. I think it might be related to stuttering, because the game speed is linked to the frame rate. So if you skip a frame, you literally skip the game. So the game doesn't exist when it's lagging. And I know this guy has all these weird particle effects, so it's possible that it's causing some kind of lag, and that's causing those frames to skip. And then if
I mean, Dark Souls 3, we get skipping frames all the time.
But the game speed isn't linked to frame rate in Dark Souls 3, I don't think. Maybe it is?
I have no idea. It feels so random in Dark Souls.
It's a very old school way of doing things. It's also like if you're lagging and you're online, how does that work? Because other people might not be lagging.
You just die.
Does it force everyone to slow down? Because like if anyone remembers like the old like James Bond 007 Nightfire on GameCube, if you shoot the rocket launcher over and over and over again at the ground, it'll start to slow the game down, and you'll just be in slow motion instead of, you know. So it's like kind of, I don't know, is that not the same? That's probably, maybe that's not the same thing. I don't know. Like slow down instead of lag. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Didn't do it first time. Have you watched the one good Disney live action, The 101 Dalmatians with Glenn Close? No.
What the fuck?
Man, what a sad state of...
What is that move? At least I got a full shot of what it is, but like, that is the rarest move ever. And then, like, he just follows it up with his...
What did he do?
Inescapable, sonic attack.
It's a sad state of affairs. Eric Lowry's like, Hercules is one of my favorite Disney movies, so I hope the remake gets canceled. It's like, everyone knows the remake's gonna be bad. And people are like, you know, everyone knows they'll be bad, and they're like, I don't know why people are so upset. They know they're gonna be bad. It's like, well, but they just, like, it's like when people are like, there's always a genocide going on. Why are people even upset? It's like, I mean,
yeah, right.
That's, yeah. It's like, just because something is known to be bad doesn't mean you should just become apathetic. Like, you maybe not get disappointed, but you should still be upset about it. Like, it should still be something you dislike, is that a company is, like, actively tarnishing your childhood. But yeah, no, I went on these rides in Epcot. They were, like, super optimistic, where it wasn't like, the future wasn't apocalyptic, because I went to Tomorrowland, where it was all nice.
Great new beautiful tomorrow.
Shining at the end of every day. You know, there's like so much optimistic, like, Tomorrowland is a positive view on the future. It's not the apocalypse. It's not like, you know, it's not authoritarian robots controlling everyone. Everything is good, because while it is important to have some sci-fi that focuses on what could happen if we're not careful, this de facto idea that in the future everything will necessarily be bad, it just instills this sort of, like, lazy hopelessness in people, where they're like, it's easier just to not care. Like, it's like, who cares if bad stuff happens, because I'm not going to have children, because there's no point in having children, and then I'm not going to, you know, I'm going to be dead, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, it's this real, like, it's like some people just really, really hope that they're gonna die. It's like they like, how did you take that much damage from that? Is there counter hits on drinking? No. You get a headshot or something?
A headshot in Dark Souls.
It's the best I can think of. But I don't know. So I think, like, yeah. Anyway, some people get, like, they like hide in pessimism, where they're like, oh, everything's doomed and whatever. But I went to Disney World, and really, that was my view of the future, was that we were gonna get these really advanced farming techniques, and nature was gonna be all fixed, and, like, there was no even talk of global warming. It was just like, yeah, we're gonna just fix the earth and with our technology and make it super nice and pleasant for everybody, and we'll use less land for farming because we'll be so efficient, so we can have lots of parks and hiking and beautiful stuff. And that was a really valuable thing to see as a kid, is that, like, you know, the future is good. And there would be other kids that were like, you know, they would say something pessimistic about the future, about, like, science, the you know, science and whatever, and I would just not understand it. I'd be like, no, the future's gonna be great. We're gonna have all this stuff and that stuff. And then they'd be like, you're so smart. Because these are, like, little kids. But, you know, and I loved Disney movies so much. I loved Hercules, and Sleeping Beauty was my favorite. I saw that movie, and I was like, one day I'm gonna like a girl, and it's gonna be important. Like, she'll find my opinion about liking her to be an important thing. Someone's going to care about my feelings one day. And then, years later, Disney became this, like, super anti-white cuckfest, and here we are. And then I wrote a book based in Disney, not because, like, I wanted to support current Disney, but because, like, my memory of Disney deserves a eulogy. It was a nice Disney that I grew up with. Oh my god.
I don't know how. Don't ask me.
Oh, is Buff? Maybe it's the buff that does lots of damage?
Never did before.
You loved classic Disney, now we got Trust Fund Disney, Disney's bratty descendant that inherited a kingdom. Bought things because they had no ideas, but fancied themselves creative. Yeah. I love how you put that, Adam. I was once complaining about a college professor not teaching well because he was focusing on his research. My roommate said, well, that makes sense, though. And my other roommate said, cancer makes sense. Which felt like a similar sentiment, just because something expected doesn't make it less shitty. Yeah. But you found Trisha, so that became a reality. It did. I didn't get to kill any dragons, unfortunately. But yeah. Love is cool and stuff. Can recommend. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's why it's like...
Find your wives.
I get it when people go like all MGTOW and like, you know, because, you know, girls can hurt you worse than... Can hurt guys worse than anything else. And so I get it when guys are just like, no, never again. I'm just gonna jerk off to anime. And, you know, I go like, yeah, well, I can't say that I don't, like... I definitely empathize with it, so I get it, and like, maybe that is a tactical decision, is just to retreat to your hentai castle, your hentai keep. You sure you don't want me just to like teleport you right back to where you were?
It doesn't make a difference if I can't win.
Right, but...
That's not the part that I'm angry about.
Okay, I just didn't know if you were getting more frustrated because you had to walk back every time. Speaking of cock... What? Iron Man is Mrs. Emma Frost? What? He took her name? What? Iron Man married Emma Frost is in like the chick that wears the white lingerie and has psychic powers? Who they turned into a good guy for some reason? Because they wanted to empathize more with sex cults. There's still time there are dragons out there that need slaying. In Minecraft.
Again?
Pancake that nerd.
I guess he's coming with me now.
But yeah, I must say, despite me like understanding people that retreat to their masturbatoriums, I think falling in love is pretty cool. I think that's... I like it a lot. I would say probably worth the risk of heartbreak. So.
Well, there you have it, folks. Falling in love is cool.
He's buffing already?
Oh, oopsie.
Why?
Could be worse. Why is he allowed to do it over and over again? I don't understand.
They say that he might be the player character. Because, like, you know, lore and stuff. You might actually just be him. That might be you in the past. Time travel.
And they're implying that I play like a little shit.
Yeah, I think they're saying that you play like a bitch. You play like a cheap, spammy piece of shit. It's a commentary on the player of the game. How dare you use the same attack over and over again when there's no variety of attacks you can even use.
Yeah. I'm switching to shield play, and some of you might wonder why.
Minecraft is screwed from what I hear from Clownfish TV. I've heard that Minecraft is going to turn into some kind of weird, like, just take all your data spyware. I don't know.
Part of the reason why is because my thumb is getting bruised from pressing B so much.
Oh, yeah.
And part of the reason why is I think probably the exchange of stamina is worth it. Is this 100% block, this shield? Or should I switch to a better one?
That doesn't have 100% block, no. It's 90%.
Yeah, let's use the cool blood shield.
I don't think anything is going to block all the damage because he has dark on his sword. So.
Well, I don't know. It only did a little chip with just the crest shield.
Okay.
So I guess we'll find out. But it might just block 100.
I'm open to the idea of falling in love again, but I can't do online dating anymore. That shit was depressing. And online dating is cancer. Yeah.
Fair. As people who have done online dating can agree. Oh. Oh.
That did like no damage. Nice. I kind of thought he was doing that. I sort of had this
Yeah.
down.
I think they try to like bait you to going over.
Yeah, online dating is online dating is extremely.
Oh, jeez! I hate it so much. Because like sometimes he does it, sometimes he doesn't. You basically can't. It's too quick for you to even prepare for what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
It's like that grab from the Four Kings. But at least in the grab, they don't do it over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, online dating is super rough. I think it makes men hate women a lot more. Because, like, the whole concept of you, as a guy, you send out the message, and then you get the notification of, like, the girl looked at your profile, and then they just block you. Or something, or they just don't respond, or whatever. Or they'll say like one word or something, and you're supposed to be, I guess in theory, making these like connections with these people, or trying to imagine yourself in a relationship with them.
Why?
And that condensed, like, super accelerated ability to experience more rejection than is normally humanly possible is not healthy. Humans have never evolved to be able to take that amount of abuse. That's a wild fucking move.
I know, it sucks.
You should go back to Grass Crest on the back with the two-handed. I think you did really well there.
My hand hurts though. So I feel like by that logic I'll still play worse because my thumb hurts now. I mean just just this. I have to run, fucking jump everywhere.
Well, I mean, I could just zip you back to the boss arena.
I don't want to have to do that every single time. Just like alt-tabbing and shit. It's like sounds equally as frustrating.
I don't know. this isn't your average everyday rejection. This is advanced rejection. Yeah, it's like super condensed. You can be rejected like 10 times in a day, whereas like normally people get rejected and then it takes them like a week or two to like start looking for other people. It's unnatural. And the thing that makes it much worse is that when you talk to girls in your life that are on online dating, they're like, oh yeah, I have so many messages, I haven't even checked them. And it's like, you just, when you encounter girls on online dating, they're like, oh, I guess I should go look through my messages and see if I want to date any of them. And it's like, it just makes it feel like all women do not understand the like emotional impact. And I guess it's true that women generally don't get it. I think maybe I've just encountered a lot of like feminists or whatever, but in general I think women don't understand men even slightly, and some are not aware that they don't understand men.
It didn't even hit me and it still does all the fucking stamina damage. It's crazy.
But I think even worse, men don't understand men. Men are generally very not introspective as to like how they act and stuff, and then compounding that, the more socially intelligent sex is propagating this like weird ideology of like men and women are exactly the same.
What?
The only difference is like women are oppressed or something. This is like feminism.
I hit it twice, it didn't matter. So. Didn't matter, hit it twice again.
I thought he was going for a buff.
You would assume, since he was like roaring and shit. Yeah, it kind of just seems like they decided that you shouldn't be able to block for this fight.
I saw one profile where a woman said, I get 300 messages a day on here, so don't be boring. I found that very sad that someone with such a terrible attitude gets 300 messages a day. Yeah, I think...
A year? She must have been on there for a long time.
I think it's very common for... I think it's very common to run into girls who just lack any amount of empathy, because like I think it's like easy, like if you just drink the feminist Kool-Aid, it's easy to like think of all those people as just like these dogs, these like pieces of shit, but like a lot of them are just lonely men, and like yeah. And it's like so, it's that dichotomy of like girls just having much more access to sex. It like, I don't know, it yeah. Yeah, and all that stuff is like much more prevalent with like online dating. Granted, there's a lot of people you can filter out with like online dating, because you can just read a couple things and be like, yeah, no, they're trash. But at some point, like, I think you just, it makes you, all the rejection makes you more desperate to accept even the shittiest possible candidate. So. This fight seems ungodly frustrating.
Yeah, it's not very fun.
I prefer meeting people IRL and phone calls. Texting, etc. just takes the emotion out of it. Feels robotic. Yeah. Yeah. People react really poorly to phone calls sometimes. I don't know.
Oh, he can change direction too?
He can track, but it's not that good. Like
I mean, clearly it is. It got me.
Right. You can side dodge it though.
Yeah. And then he just does it 3 more times.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're probably right in thinking online dating is a bad idea. So I think it's really bad for your psyche in general. And it's also worth noting that like not every girl is like a sociopath who doesn't care about the emotions of men.
Like, what the fuck?
Now they don't want to attack.
Yeah.
But I think some girls just, it's never occurred to them that they should care about men being sad. Because I've had conversations with girls where like they just don't get it, or like girls will say stuff like, "Oh, guys don't have feelings." And it's like, do you actually hear what you just said? And then they're like super confused and embarrassed, and they're like, "Oh, I guess they are people, huh?" It's like you're talking to like some like oil, like some like Saudi Arabian oil prince who has all these like slave wives. It's like explaining to them that his wives have feelings. It's like, ugh. But there's plenty of people that are just fucking normal and like will show empathy for humans. Don't date anyone who goes to a liberal arts school though.
Aye. Stay away from those bitches.
It's a real fucking... Most of my experiences with like people that are just like straight fucking sociopaths come from those kind of schools. So just, you know, it like teaches the empathy out of you too. So like I was having a conversation with someone where I said pussy, and then they like as a term of like a wimp or a wuss, and they were super mad, and I was like, yeah, but you say suck all the time. You say that guy's a dick all the time. And then they were like, but I feel like it's different. It's like, well, you only feel that way because you have an unsophisticated sense of empathy. Like, you just have an underdeveloped sense of empathy. Like, you can't empathize with it because it doesn't occur to you that, you know,
it just didn't matter.
Other people have feelings that aren't also women.
Where's that stab move too? Have like anyone in the universe ever wanted to do a stab move out of rolling?
Well,
in the history of time.
It's like a nerf, right? Because since it comes out quickly out of a roll, it should be like not as good. Maybe is maybe the logic. I don't know. Rather than.
Is there anything else I can do in this game?
You could just beat the game. You could just kill the final boss.
Yeah.
Do you have all the boss souls? Look at your key items. So we can see if you have 4. Yep.
Chaos Flame Member.
It's just one of the embers.
Need no further information on that.
I've never used it before.
Sends +5 flame weapon to chaos weapon. Okay. So it's 4 fire weapons.
Yeah, and it does more damage the higher your liquid humanity or your hero points is.
Hmm. I feel like we're gonna be here all day.
Nito, Bed of Chaos, 4 Kings, and Yasith is the last one.
It's really hot in this room.
There's a fan somewhere out here. Fear not. You have a boyfriend.
Yeah. For those of you who don't have the context, this room gets absolutely no EC whatsoever. There's like no vent in this room. You just like rely on the rest of the house to cool it down.
Yeah, so this room was an addition built by people that didn't really have smart. So there's no like air duct that runs into the room. So the room doesn't really have air circulated, so all the dust in the house will kind of settle in this room. So it's a very dusty room, and then it's also a very hot room because the air doesn't circulate through.
What the fuck was that? I think we're done.
It is 11:28.
There's nothing else I can do in this game? I just have to beat this guy?
There's other stuff, I think.
What do I do for the dragon? Do I have to beat this guy to do that? To get the giant to shoot his wing or whatever?
I don't remember at all, but I can look it up.
I feel like a dragon would be much easier to fight.
He's supposedly like the hardest guy. I don't know. You have to talk to Hawkeye Go. Okay.
Who's that?
He's one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn. Location: Royal Wood, after Knight Artorias' arena. So you have to beat him to get to that guy.
Figures.
You could fight Gwendolyn by...
Actually, why don't you just fight him for a while?
Okay.
And then I can relax a bit, so I'm not like dying of heat and exhaustion.
Can I use cheat energy to teleport back?
Oh, whatever. It's not that bad of a walk back, though. It's really not the worst part of it. Because, like, with the shortcut, it's very doable. It's literally just the fight itself that is just hurting my thumb. Because there's so much dodging involved. And they just don't give you other good options. It's like, oh yeah, you can use the shield, but we're gonna take your entire stamina every time you use it, and sometimes hits will just like go over your head, and you just won't be able to block them.
I think this is the one.
Chaos Match CC4 recommends Gravelord Greatsword Dance.
Oh yeah. Oops. Okay, I'm just gonna... Okay, alright, sorry, get into starting position. Alright. Fuck. Oh, you piece of shit. What even is that?
I don't know, but
Oh, he's not
sometimes
buffing
he
again.
does
He's
it.
doing a... Fuck me up.
He's doing a one-shot, as it turns out, yeah. Well, it's always good to know that I'm not crazy for having a super hard time with this boss.
You know, I'm really thirsty. Thanks. Okay.
Yeah. Just giving my hand the good rest that it deserves.
That's not the right spot. I have to go here, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Yeah, I can never get the 2 hits in because he just does an automatic dodge.
I feel like I don't know if I should I even be respecting this?
I mean, I just assume whenever any particle effect is around a boss, they're about to do an explosion thing.
No, I know he's gonna do an explosion, but
Nice. I know, right? It's always when you're so fucking close. You just pull some bullshit.
you're dead.
Got him.
Easy. What even? Just like answers, like my hands like changing. Like what even is that difficulty? Oh shit.
Careful.
So I noticed when you're fighting him that if you hit him twice with the light attack, he gets staggered. And I
Careful.
okay. Well, your fucking desk is so tiny. It's for midgets.
I know.
Okay. Well, do you want me to keep on playing, or?
I know. They can't even see what we're doing. Wow. You see, that's why you gotta get a boyfriend. Beat all the dumb DLC bosses for you. Where's my bonfire? All the other boss rooms you get a bonfire.
No, only the big bosses.
Oh, he's not big enough?
Like the Great Lord dudes.
Mm.
My ears? Oh, for dropping the controller like 7 times.
Yeah. Entered the gazebo. What's up here?
I, the pastor of the Gravelord Greatsword Dance Church, have once suggested to use the Gravelord Greatsword Dance. I should have. Unfortunately, I've been indoctrinated by Trisha's satanic church of Gravelord Greatsword Dance being bad?
With my refrigerator?
With my Trisha showed me some post that was like the next isekai, standard naming trend in current year, and it was just like, I'm in another world with my refrigerator. Like it just like
Yeah. Classic.
I gave up and summoned some help against Melania, which turned out to be 2 people with some bleed builds who carried my sorry ass to victory. Fair enough.
Oh yeah, I assume there's no, like, summons for the DLC.
This is the PvP arena they added in the
I see.
DLC.
Huh.
Those are different arenas if you want to know.
Yeah, that's...
Check them out.
It's interesting. So I don't go there, I go here.
Yeah, Elden Ring was pretty fun.
There's my bonfire. I knew it was in here somewhere.
The aesthetics of Elden Ring were fine, but not like...
Ooh, here we go, baby. Strength is back, and better than ever.
Shit. maybe you should see if Gravelord Greatsword Dance does more damage now. Because, you know, it doesn't scale with strength at all.
Yeah, of course.
I'm still waiting for a Dark Souls game set in ancient Egypt. I think we need to wait before we can go back to Egypt in any like game universe, because
Need to wait for better times.
because the current year perception of Egypt is that it is in there's no Egyptians there. It's only like black sub-Saharan Africans.
Yes.
That
Trust the
aren't there only
signs.
4 people there?
That's all there is.
So that spell doesn't do a lot of damage to you. Now, you have an item. You might need to kindle for this fucking place.
Yeah, I'm starting to feel that way.
Yeah. You have an item. I wouldn't recommend trying to use it, but there's some... I didn't try, but there's some item you can equip into your Estus slot. Like in that sort of place, you can press X and then it will reflect dark magic away. Like you can parry spells with it.
Right.
I kind of feel like that's not... like if you can make the timing, why not dodge, right? So I don't know.
Fair.
Oh
Oh
man.
man. I thought the chain was the correct spot.
There is no chain, it's like clipping into the floor.
Oh, I thought it, you know what? Did it just like glitch out on me and show it in the other spot? I could have swore that it was curved the other way.
I never saw a chain.
Yeah,
The
whatever.
floor kind of has a pattern though, so maybe it looked like a ring.
I could have sworn.
You could also crack an extra one if you wanted to get 15 flasks or something.
Oh, you think it'll be that bad?
This is the... You're kind of... I don't know. You're kind of in this spot for... Like, this is the hard section, I would say.
Oh.
So I would say if you're going to crack an extra for any section, I would say here, maybe. So...
I mean, I do have them.
I started using double greatswords in Elden Ring. Nice. Extra strong. Dude, shield in Elden Ring is so satisfying when you get that like shing and, like,
I know, it's so good.
next playthrough I want to do something with the shield again. I have a bunch of mods pulled up for Elden Ring, and I want to install them for my next go through. I got this one mod that was really neat. That was like blocking, like perfect timing. The block counts as a parry, and I know it's not balanced or anything, but like it's so fun. It's like parrying always feels like I'm just kind of memorizing rather than really playing. Whereas blocking feels like I can block better and better as I'm learning the enemy, so it feels like more of a progression of skill instead of like just memorizing a specific timing. And that hit a lot harder. I know you were down
I ran into it.
Yeah.
I thought I could run around it, but no, she just turned, so. It is what it is. We'll kill this guy. Over here.
Yeah. What you were saying before, like, that's why you get a boyfriend, so you can beat the hard sections of video games for you. Very true, but, like, also, Trisha will, Trisha will play, like, platforming games, and I have always been bad at platforming games. So it's like, oh, there's, like, a place to drop onto.
Yeah, well,
Feels sketchy.
run jump, I would say.
Yeah, for safety.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Cool. Nice angle. Nice angle, Dark Souls. Very cool.
I would go gay for ghost powers and someone to beat difficult bosses for me. Win-win. You get a boyfriend to beat the bosses for you, and then you get ghost powers too.
It all works out.
Excellent.
Why wouldn't you be gay, really? Seems like you're living your best life, eh?
There were people in my school who were very upset about this gay subgroup of, like, gym bros that are super sexist and, like, misogynistic. I guess it was the same thing, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, they actively hate women, and they have no need to ever have any amount of sympathy or, like, compassion or understanding for women because they just, like, fuck dudes all the time. So it's like, oh man, you're never gonna get a girlfriend. It's like, good, I have a cock, bro. And I found it so fucking hilarious that existed, and they were very, like, upset about it. And I was like, guys, how could you be so gloomy? That's hilarious. That's, like, a real thing. But they were concerned about a subgroup that would, like, literally have nothing to do with them at any point in their life. It was just the fact they existed and didn't like them.
And it looks like you could jump off here, but you can't.
You can. It's just you got hooked on that tiny little.
Yeah. Well, that's my point. You need a running jump to jump down there.
Wow, they've cracked the code on human relationships. Yeah.
What? Why did it aim towards the ground?
Hi, Gergie. You wanna come hang out? Yeah, you wanna sit up here with me?
What's this say? Let there be light.
How do you make light in this game?
Put on the mask. I don't know.
Oh,
Skull lantern.
Skull lantern. You wanna try that?
Yeah, I can try.
What? You wanna go up here? Is this, like, not enough room? Like, you need more room? No, you're just...
There we go. So that's how you get through this illusion.
Huh.
That's interesting. I like it. Actually, does remind me though. I still have light roll armor on.
About to get thick.
What is that noise?
It's just like Redditors.
I don't like it when I hear noises while I'm in the menu. Of course, it's all the way down at the bottom.
How likely would you or Trisha lose it in bullet hell games? Like
Silver
totally?
pendant.
Oh, that's the one. Sorry. Yeah, so that reflects dark magic.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
Oh, you have an extra humanity on you.
Fucking sucks.
Kirky, you don't have to go. Kirky. So the end of Sonic Frontiers was actually a bullet hell.
Yeah, oddly enough.
I have not played very many bullet hells at all, so the answer for me would probably be like lose it. I don't know, but like give up hope quite quickly. They have A staggered. Did they actually show you like? Oh my god! Do they actually show you the strength of stagger now in the stats, or do you have to look that up on like the wiki?
Oh, there's two of them? I wish it didn't, you know, action cube, but what are you gonna do?
Could you pass me my water? So, dual wielding greatswords. I've heard the best strategy for that is jumping attacks, like spamming jumping attacks. Oh.
Just because.
I had a character where I dual wielded stuff and did lots of jumping attacks. I dual wielded hammers that were fairly heavy and just did lots of jumping attacks. It was like the crag hammer or something. It was like a hammer made out of stone. Does a ton of poise damage. It was fairly fun, but it was kind of only fun against bosses. I don't know. It wasn't like a super well-rounded character.
Whenever you're like not locked on, you just kind of hit the ground. It's pretty funny.
The other difficulty with dual wielding, or with really big weapons, is it covers up a lot of your field of view because you're in third person. Yeah, we're looking forward to the DLC too. It's definitely an evil chest.
No, I know. I just wanted to see if the chain was doing the same thing that it did before. Are you fucking serious?
Nice. Oh.
For communicating. I'll totally need that.
My favorite build I've done is using Bloody Helis and spamming the weapon art. You dance out of rage with most enemy attacks and then stab the shit out of them. It's so funny. Huh. That does sound fun. I think I've seen that weapon art. Honestly, a shockingly good weapon was one that I found co-oping with Trisha, which was it's a rapier that shoots like an ice beam for like a tiny bit of
Not
FP,
far
maybe?
away?
Yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah, Elden Ring is pretty fun. I can't wait to do the seamless co-op with Trisha for like another playthrough or something.
Still? She doesn't even untrigger after I leave the screen?
No.
If I go upstairs, will she shoot at me from up there?
I don't know. Frozen Needle, I think so.
Yeah, she will. Although it won't reach me.
Well, it hit the lip, so I wouldn't count on that.
What a little bitch. I don't even know what the point of going over there is. I don't see any other spot to go to.
I believe that's how you continue on.
Yeah, but I don't see where I go from there
There's
after
a
I
doorway,
get over there.
right?
No, there is no doorway. None that I can see. Looks like brick wall to me.
Is it stairs down right there?
Maybe a ladder?
Could be stairs that go down.
I don't even see anywhere down below her, though. It looks like just abyss below her.
I don't know. I believe
Maybe
that's the
I'm
way,
not
though.
supposed to go that way, then.
No, I'm pretty sure that is, but... I could try and get you across.
Well, I mean, if I go... It doesn't matter if I beat her or not, but if I go all the way over there, and then there's just no way to progress, that'll be upsetting.
I will progress you. Do you want me to teleport you back to your bloodstain?
Sure, I guess.
Oh. First, walk away from the bonfire, otherwise the rest at bonfire message will stay forever. Okay. Alright. Get ready. Steady. Go! Oh, what?
Apparently that kills me.
Huh.
I need to use the bathroom.
Okay. Careful. Oh, I know what I can do. Boyfriend things. Although, I am curious if that was just a weird... Oh, yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Jesus. Didn't even know you could run around those. Item. As if you need, by the time you get into the DLC, as if you need large Titanite shards. Like, you have to have already placed the Lord Vessel, right? How do you get the Lord Vessel to be a placeable? God. Fuck. This is most disagreeable. It's nice of you. Okay. What the fuck? think Trisha's wrong. I think she needs to change the jump off of B. Has to put it on. I know she hates using the like clicking the sticks for anything. So it was an adjustment for her to even lock on with the stick. So I don't know if like jumping is gonna be popular move.
Boo. Where am I?
I got you back to the guy and I killed him.
Okay.
And there are stairs.
It's a lot of damage for just like hanging around enemies.
Yeah.
And again, I guess I've never leveled up health, but you know.
Yeah, this DLC just seems like it's just scaled up. Like everything just does more damage because it's a DLC.
I guess that's usually how DLC works, right? It's like...
I mean, if you release, like after the game comes out, if you release an early game area, like an even lower level than the regular lower level area, like if you did the opposite extreme, that wouldn't make a lot of sense. If you just added like a level 30 area, I guess people who already had a character would find it very easy. So.
Oh man, there's a lot of those guys.
Oh, and that's a spellcaster.
I can't, yeah. Okay.
Can you can't roll over the edge? I bet you, maybe.
Apparently not.
Can you running jump? Is it a smart idea to running jump even?
Probably not.
Oh,
No bombs.
you are smart.
I only have 2 fire bombs. Yeah, whatever. Oh, wow. Oh, what the fuck?
Huh.
That was not dark.
That's a spell in Dark Souls 2. I guess it's also a spell in this game.
Alright, whatever. Okay, well, body blocking. Nice.
Fuck.
Very unforgiving DLC here.
Yeah.
You think they'd want to make it fun?
Yeah, you know, for a guy in full hovels, those hit real fucking hard, huh?
Yeah.
Even the physical attacks are like a shit ton of damage. And like, I guess the Abyss is supposed to be really scary or something, but I don't know, they're kind of just scratching you. Like, they don't even seem like that powerful. They're just kind of...
What do I have to do to heal more with my Estus?
You need to use a Firekeeper's Soul.
Oh, so I have to kill somebody.
No, they're around. There's one in New Londo. There's one in a little island protected by ghosts after a really thin bridge in New Londo. And then there's one in Blighttown. Did you get the one in Blighttown?
I don't know what I
It
got,
was
man.
it was like surrounded by dogs and they shoot you with like the poison blow darts.
I don't remember.
Because I have 2. I didn't really explore that well with my character. So you could kill that lady in Orlando though. That is an option. one-shot everybody, right?
Yeah. Except for the bosses, I suppose. Kind of dark, this area too. All these dark areas. That chain is definitely curved the other way. I don't know why they have other open chests around here though. Oh, well. Now I can cast the Dark Orb. A special... I wonder if there are other sections where you have to use the Skull Lantern to reveal Invisible Wall. Or if that's just for that one spot. Huh. Maybe this is a shortcut later on? That would be a very shitty shortcut, though. I don't suppose a shield can block dark at all.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess it would say on the shield.
If the shield can block what?
whatever dark magic she's using.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would say under, like, dark defense if you hit X. Oh, God. What is dark in this game? Is it just magic?
Who knows, man? Ugh.
Look it up. Damage types.
I would assume it would be magic.
I guess, yeah, must be magic. Maybe it's physical, too. I don't know.
It's kind of not too much that's good against magic. Huh. I mean, obviously Hot will shield, but don't want to crush myself to death. Oh shit, it might push me. Oh, just a little bit. That's not a bad exchange at all.
Yeah. Tons of stamina, though. Surprised Frozen is getting the live-action remake. I don't know, maybe they're too afraid of damaging that IP. Whereas they want to damage all the good IPs.
Give it time. They'll damage everything.
I assume that if they did the Frozen movie, they would actually have people cast that make sense.
Oh no, Elsa would be black.
You think so?
Sure, why not? They'd probably, like, make her black, but just do the hair the same, and, like, just give her blonde hair.
Well, wouldn't little girls be like, no, she doesn't look right?
I mean, that's what little girls were like when they did that for The Little Mermaid, and they still did it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's actually, like, a really funny clip of that. It's like a little girl reacting to the live-action Little Mermaid trailer, and she's like, but Ariel's white! This guy's partying.
Yeah.
Does anyone go after me? Brian? No, it's not. Man, it really seems like they should have allowed you to plunging attack here.
Yeah, it's a bit odd.
Yeah.
I mean, they should at least make the railing big enough that it makes sense, or make it sharp or something.
Oh, and that does all my stamina? Fucking ridiculous.
You know what?
What do you mean I'm poisoned? I'm dead.
You know what? I think it actually does stamina damage when you hit by that spell. Not sure though.
That's not nice.
It's too fucking hot. All these, like, in the store, all these things were, like, fused together. It must have been on a hot craft.
So do people like the Dark Souls 1 DLC?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I like the idea of it, but I'm not having fun at all. What? Oh, good. I was about to say. That should go. Yeah. Like, how much pain do I have to go through to actually get this elevator to work?
I think that you're like in the spot to put it up, but I don't know. You want me to teleport you to the... I mean, sometimes it does just kill you, so I don't know why that happens, but...
Oh, man.
You're already so far, might as well not murder you.
I mean, you still have all these steps to go down.
If you want me to give it a shot, I totally can.
Why did they include a kick? It's still something that baffles me to this day. Like, what's the purpose of the kick?
The kick does lots of stamina damage if they're blocking.
Yeah, but if you're attacking, that also does damage.
Yep. But it can't be, it won't clang off. As would happen with some weapons. With smaller weapons, I think. Actually, the big sword sometimes clangs, right?
No.
I guess not. So if you have a non-Giga
It only
Chan
clangs
weapon.
against, like, walls, basically.
Here's the other thing, is like, how many enemies in this game can actually block? It's like...
A skip? Perhaps? No, probably not. That'd be funny, though. Do some complicated jump to get over to there. Bitch just pushed me. Straight up just pushed. My god. Alright, so are there any strategies for this room? Or is it just like level up your health to 1,000,000?
What about right there? To the right? I don't know. The stairs in front of you? Oh.
Yeah, those are the stairs that I go down and die.
Oh, I thought maybe that was like a
No, it's the same thing.
secret stairs.
I can drop down here, but it looks like that drop will kill me.
I think you can survive it.
Where are they? Oh, right. Yeah. Did I skip them?
What you looking for?
The prison stones? There
Oh.
they are. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Dark Souls, yeah. Does that mean I can survive it?
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't scream?
Yeah, you might take damage, but you'll live it. Backstab? Oh.
Thought, but whatever.
What screen type hit for anyway?
Nobody knows.
The effect of the eyes in the dark does look cool. In general, these are like really stupid looking.
Oh, there's another one over there? Oh, I see her now. Couldn't see her
they're
before.
firing.
Alrighty, so I guess I gotta go up the stairs and kill her first. I assume these are stairs anyway.
Why does Sir Dannphan's armor look more samurai in nature? I think it's the shoulder pads you might be feeling. His samurai armor has big shoulder pads. Or pauldrons, rather.
I don't even know what I'm looking at over here. Well, that wasn't what I was supposed to do. We figured out that much. I tried to jump onto a platform, but then there was just like a railing. And then it just pushed me off.
I think generally you're probably just gonna have to run underneath the spellcaster.
I mean, there's still stairs here.
Okay.
So it's gotta go to some location. I see the room here, but I can't jump to it. So there's a railing.
I think you can make that, because I feel like I've gone there, but...
I mean, there could be another way to get there. And then over here, I just like nothingness. Don't even know what I'm looking at here.
I don't know. I know there's a chest.
I see the chest, yeah.
I didn't figure out how to get there.
I assume some sort of jump over there.
Maybe you come out the other side somewhere.
I don't think there's a door over there. I don't know. I need the official guide. They punish you like way too much for messing up or doing something.
Yeah, like platforming has such grave consequences in this game.
Yeah. That's why you need like absolute certainty. So it's getting up on that platform. Well, I don't know what to do.
Well, where the mages were, run underneath them.
Why?
Because that's the way to go.
But what about up here?
I don't know. I honestly haven't spent a lot of time exploring in Dark Souls 1. I know I got everything when I was playing co-op, but I don't remember it.
That sucks. Why? Like, why? Why would it do that much damage?
Yeah. They don't look like they would do that much damage.
And it barely even clipped me. Like, it didn't disturb my momentum at all.
Can we try to teleport back?
Sure.
Ready? Ready to fight?
That went about as well as I thought it would.
step away from the bonfire, I guess, so we can try that again. Ready, steady. There you go.
Like, now what? There's nowhere to go over here.
That door.
Yes. Oh, I thought this was Abyss. That's what happens when you have dark areas in every level.
Dark areas or blindingly bright ones.
I actually don't mind the blinding lava as much as the darkness. Hot take.
I think people... Oh, that's it. That's the shortcut right there. Because I remember this hallway is like the... It's a difficult hallway to get through on the way to the boss.
Well, thank God.
I knew it was like right around where you were.
Oh, what the fuck? Another sorcerer? 2? Why?
Because they want... This is your run to the boss, by the way, so like every time you want to retry the boss, you have to get through this fucking disaster.
So I just shouldn't even bother fighting any of them.
Well, once you get through once, I can... You know... Teleport you there.
It just seems like DLC enemies doing this much damage is just like punishment for people who never leveled up health.
Yeah, I don't even know. Because it's just regular physical damage. It's not like if you put on some kind of mage robes, you'd be doing better.
Yeah, right? It's like nothing I can do except for like crack a shitload of souls and then just blast my health up to Kingdom Come.
It's kind of like in the Painted world where there's those hollows that are just the same as every other hollow, but they do a shit ton of damage, which makes them like the hardest enemies in the game. Because all the hollow attacks where they do that leaping attack and like flailing and whatever, it's just... Oh my god, that's...
Like, what is the point of dodging if it doesn't do anything? Doesn't do anything. You just always get hit and die.
It's a really fast moving spell.
Yes.
I used it in like
I have
Breakfast
it
2,
now.
Yeah.
About to switch to my bow.
Why is it when I find someone that's funny, they're also woke? I don't know.
I guess I'm not funny. I've never met a funny woke person because they're all too offended by everything.
Yeah. I know there's a lot of people that are very scared. And that's sometimes kind of annoying. Like I was watching like someone do Elden Ring stuff. I was watching his like VODs. It's like Distortion 2, and then he was talking about games done quick, GDC.
What the fuck?
And
So beyond unfair.
someone in his chat made a joke like, what if one of the speedrunners is just like a typical speedrunner where like when they mess up they just go like fuck, and then it's on like a live stream, and like apparently like the people there are like totally aren't like super familiar with like, what did he just do?
I don't know.
He cast it in the air. It's like a... Nice. There we go. can't be funny because comedy requires understanding reality. Anyway, he made the joke where he was like, no, the worst thing you could do at GDC is if you called something gay.
Oh God, these things.
And then everyone was like super upset.
Oh.
There you go. Everyone was like super upset in his chat or whatever, and he was getting super scared, and he was like, I would never do that, you know, not me. It's like, alright, man.
I'm better than that.
He literally said, I'm starting to get scared. Please stop talking about it. It's just like, guys. Why? I don't know. It's just like, I get that he makes his whole money on like Twitch and whatever. It's just, oh shit.
Wow. Very cool, Dark Souls.
But I think it's just like bad for people to just see fear and weakness. I don't know. It like
Hey, bonfire.
put me in like kind of a bad. Maybe yeah. I guess I was wrong about the run to the boss.
Huh.
Put me in a bad like headspace. There's this. I just didn't want to see someone be weak like that.
I have to kindle this one.
Came across a video that was voice over 2 No More Heroes characters, and I found it funny, and then I checked the Twitter profile, and there was some praising to communism.
I wonder if this Skull Lantern works here.
Oof. Hey, Pyroseer, I did have actual meat. I feel much better.
Skull Lantern, no light. No light. It's just like that one.
Didn't we find that it gave light? In
Oh!
yeah.
There's a little bit of light here.
Yeah,
I
this room it had light, yeah.
Although not really a whole lot.
Is it giving any light, or is it just changing the color?
It looks like it's giving me a little bit of light.
Nice.
It's like not enough light to really make it super worth it. But I appreciate that they just allow it to be used at all. So those are the Dark Souls.
Yeah.
Do they like me?
Ah,
What?
it was an illusory floor.
Right. Is this bad?
I don't know. Is that an enemy? Oh, it disappeared. Oh, was the
Yeah.
cat fucking with you? Oh, the cat. I know what the cat's doing. Yeah, follow the cat. Cat's luring you to go help a friend. Make me nervous with your health.
Sorry.
Okay, you're allowed to make me nervous. Are we going for the handsy guy? We are, but first, we've got to help out an old friend. They go.
Go away. I don't like you.
I've already been
Where
through.
did the cat go?
I don't know, maybe they're done. Maybe that they led you to the place you're supposed to go.
I guess so.
How was Artorias for Trisha? Artorias was rough.
Yeah, that was not a fun time.
But she showed me all of his patterns so well that Once I had my hands on it, took me like 2 or 3 tries.
Oh.
So Sif is somewhere.
So that's another run back, I suppose. Sif is somewhere?
Yeah, Sif is somewhere in the dark there, getting attacked by stuff.
Oh.
And then you can rescue her, and then if you do, when you start the boss fight, like if you haven't already done the boss fight by the time you do this DLC, she'll have like a new dialogue for you. She'll be like, "Oh, it's you. I remember you. You saved me. Okay, now we have to fight." There was like an urban rumor that, an urban myth, I mean, that you could save her in the DLC, and then once she started getting crippled, you could like put away your weapon, and then she would just give you the ring. But it wasn't true, and everyone had to be sad and kill Doggo.
Aw. Why though? It's not my fault you're a dark soul.
I'm gonna drop humanity, huh?
Yeah, okay.
How much caffeine is in this? 140. 140 milligrams of caffeine, and I'm used to Bang, which was like 300. So
Black thing. Cool.
to get that in Dark Souls 2, you have to collect every single shard of the soul of whatever the fuck her name is in the old Iron Keep.
Mm.
Feel bad. He's an asshole in combat, just like his owner. Yeah. Well, at least Sif doesn't have that spin attack. Oh, Jesus.
Just casually getting rid of my health there.
I guess you could use some humanities to heal up.
I guess so. Heck off! Go away! I don't like you. It makes a lot more sense that that one guy would be selling infinite humanities if, like, he can literally just farm them down here.
Yeah. You can also farm them from, like, Nito's area, like I said, with his babies. The
Right.
scythe is way better for killing them, by the way. The scythe swings very low when
That's
you do, like, a power attack one-handed, so...
Good, good, good.
But there's, like, the best place to kill them is that ramp, but the edge of the ramp, they go through the floor, so... Oh, this must be going to Sif. So there's some kind of thing in the guide after the fact that I saw, which was like if you go left instead of right because you're a bad
What the fuck?
Some intense Mario shit. So I guess you could heal up with that.
Yeah, right. Might as well. That didn't actually bring me anywhere new.
Yeah. There's some place it's supposed to be like, instead of going left, you go right, and then you should find Sif. That's what the...
Oh, do they mean like with all those Dark Souls just hanging out?
I can't imagine that's...
Because like there was a direction to go that way as well.
You know, it's funny. The more humanities you have, the higher your drop rate goes. So as you crack these humanities to get more humanities, you end up getting more humanities.
Yeah. This one. Ah. Oh no. I thought maybe there was like an area down there, but nope. Just an item over here.
And that's the boss. I don't know if you want to fight him now or get more.
I'm like, what do I do? You know? Like, no matter what, it's gonna be like a chaotic boss fight.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if you wanted to.
I don't know what else I can do, you know?
Oh, but you could look for Sif, but I don't know if you care. It doesn't really matter. Kind of looking forward to watching The Equalizer 3 next month. I've heard a lot of people like... Not a lot of people. I've heard some people say that they like the style of choreography in that movie.
Oh. I didn't even realize. I didn't realize I was on the ground in a slow animation of getting up. I couldn't see myself even remotely, you know.
Do you want to map travel to your body, or?
Sure. I mean, it's not like I'd be able to find the place ever again.
Oh god, the boss.
Where is it? Oh.
I'm surprised that the boss was triggered. Normally you have to walk to the boss door to start the fight again. Yeah, I heard all the X presses.
I know! It's fucking ridiculous. Like, where am I? Am I in his hand?
It's a combo. Ready for round 2? Oh, I guess walk away from the bonfire so you don't have that message. Okay, and then ready, steady, spaghetti. You have to move to get the map to load when you first port in.
What? Really? Yeah. I am simple girl. I think when I press the dodge button, it should, like, dodge. But you know how I am.
I agree. Ready, steady. I'll get your,
I forget what it is. Oh yeah, sure. What is it with all the bosses in this area? They just all like perfect dodge move back as soon as you press the attack button.
Yeah, I guess Artorias did that too.
Yeah. Is that supposed to be some deepest lore reason? Yeah. They like trained each other how to do the perfect dodge backward.
Smo does the same thing. I don't know if you noticed.
I didn't, because he was dead.
I was sprinting at Smo, and Smo dodged backwards across the entire stage until I couldn't even sprint. This boss is an asshole, like everything here. And holy shit,
Yeah.
that better.
DLC, yeah, DLC, I'd say hardest area, based on everything I've seen so far. Since Fortress was annoying, but you know. This is hard in the sense that it's dark and it just feels like it goes on forever.
Yeah. I just hate the regular enemies that... I don't mind the sorcerers that blast you for 1,000,000 damage, but the guys
I
who...
mind them.
The guys... Like, it's hard, but it's okay. But the guys that just claw, and that's it, and then that's 1,000,000 damage, it's like, that's... They're harder than... They do more damage than, like, Black Knights with a big axe and stuff.
Yeah, they all
like,
do more damage than every other enemy in the entire game.
Like, when you fought, like, Udex Gundyr or whatever, and then he goes like, and that big, like, abyssal thing comes out, and then he's super powerful, he's smashing stuff. It's like, okay, I get it, abyss powerful, but, like, this is supposed to be the, like, super abyssal, and that's just 1,000,000 damage to this.
Yeah.
Like, they look so frail.
They look like they're supposed to not do a lot of damage, but they stack on top of each other, and that's where, like, the damage comes in.
I just, even if they clawed you, right, a regular person, I don't even think they would do that much, because their fingers look so frail.
Yeah.
They look like very snappable. It just doesn't feel like they would actually even scrape off your skin, like if you just had no armor.
Yeah, I kind of just don't get it.
Yeah. If they had some kind of, like, crazy thing where, like, ooze would, like, lance through you or something out of their hands, like, okay, maybe, but even then it wouldn't be a very cool enemy. I'd like the really strong enemies to be very cool, like Black Knights or...
Yeah. Well, in any area, it just makes sense for some enemies to not do that much damage and some enemies to do a lot of damage. But, there's just kind of no difference here. They just all do 1,000,000 damage.
What if they just grabbed hold of you and held you still for the wizards and just get...
That would make more sense.
Yeah, it would at least make more sense. It might be just as annoying, but... Did she go for the bitch dragon? Not yet. I don't know if you're gonna try Calamite.
I can try the dragon. But I won't be able to try the dragon in the air. I'll have to, like, get them down on the ground.
Mm-hmm. You should be able to go... You went to the tower and it was locked. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I guess I could look it up.
Maybe it's a key I have to find in the garden or some shit.
That's the ultimate asshole, is Hawkeye. Or not Hawkeye, Calamite. You need the crest key found during the Ulisil Township exploration. When you get to the area with many bloat heads, climb down the staircase, you find a door on the right. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out.
Do you have happy story? This cozy campfire story? Let's gather around the campfire.
Happy story. Thanks for streaming for us. Can't wait to see the fight. The fight with Gwyn. Oh, thanks. Thanks so much.
I can't wait either. Feel like that'll be much easier.
Yeah, Gwyn will probably be a lot easier. And also have more melancholic music. That'll make you feel deep and cool.
Sweet.
That's important. Happy story. I can't really think of one off the top of my head.
Nothing happy happened?
Sorry, just yawning.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, it is pretty late, so.
Oh, I guess that's a happy story. I told this before, but there's a happy story. I DM'd for a bunch of middle schoolers, and they liked me so much that one of them got me this with, like, I think it had the candy inside or something, Christmas themed stuff for Christmas. So it was like, you know, they got presents for their favorite teachers, and they named me as like favorite teacher person because I ran D&D. Like,
No, that is nice.
yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks.
Yeah.
People appreciate you.
It's my resume. So I have a mug.
We're gonna be doing a con this weekend. I don't know if I should advertise it at all. So I'm kind of like, should I let people know where I'm going to be online?
Yeah.
It's that tricky stuff, right? It's not like I have security. I have an Adam.
This is true. The anti-woke guys or not? Anti-woke guys.
Anti-woke guys?
I'm trying to think if I... No, I'm trying to... That's probably something I said, but I don't remember.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway.
I think if you... we should... yeah. It'd be cool. There was a couple people that came up that recognized Trisha, and that was like super wild.
Yeah. Makes sense in that place of all places. It's funny if the first time someone recognized me, it was just like in a random shop in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, it's late. I want to go to bed.
The anti-woke guys or not? Oh, those teenagers. Yeah. That was the group, but that kid didn't get mad. He just got disappointed. But no, but once I cleared everything up, they were all like fine. One of them didn't trust me, but I was like, well, relax. No, they were all happy once I was like, oh no, I wouldn't do that. God no. Yeah, I said half of something. I guess I'll tell that story. Yeah, I was saying. I was describing the guard captain, and I was trying to remember what the term for like light brown hair was. That was like a more medieval-y kind of thing, and I was like, it's not auburn because that's red. I was like, is it chestnut? I couldn't remember like what the more flowery term for like kind of light brown hair was. And then they're like, what is he, non-binary or something? I was like, whoa, no.
Not I, good sir.
I would not. Yeah. No, it was a bunch of them were like glaring at me, and then that kid was just like sad. I was like, no. And then they were all happy. They were like, oh, okay. But one of them was like, not even the one that like said it. It was like, because one guy said that, and then the other person was like what, like vocalized something like
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Based kids over there.
yeah, I empathize with that kid. Wokeness is always trying to sneak in. Yeah, I know that they were not pleased with the idea that wokeness would get anywhere near their thing. So.
Oh man.
Also, the rates of pride things being vandalized in schools is up.
Yeah, stocks are up for that specific
stocks
thing.
Are up, yeah.
All
it's
right.
like stonks or whatever. It's like, yeah.
I gotta get to bed.
Anyway, based indeed.
Thanks for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching the stream.
Yeah, we'll get through this another time.
Yeah.
Good night, everybody.